Fat Don, what it is, Jack?
What's happening?
Keep your pimp hand strong. I know you've been putting it down.
Real talk.
And I know you're a real macaroni, Jack. Straight out the cheese box, you hear me? From the chairman of the board,
Kentucky, what
Don Magic Wall.
Salute.
I'm a smooth operator, pass your bitch hot potato. I've been picking out my flavors for a weekend in Vegas. I've been giving out my pages in the evening on stages. I keep punching till I make it, I ain't going through phases. She call me Candy Man, she want me now and later. It's the aura and the essence, it ain't about no paper.
And we're live back here at the Belmont Steaks with Big Cozy and Fat Don. We got a couple races we're going to go over with you today. We'll recap our picks for the Belmont, Belmont Stakes. Sorry, and I believe I know you narrowed down what you wanted to look at because you don't like playing smaller field races. What races are we going to look at today?
We're looking at the 8th and 10th.
8th and the 10th. All right. Well, let's get started, folks, with the 8th race. The 8th race is going to be a 6-furlong, grade 1 on turf. It's the J Pure Stakes.
Yeah,
I said that right, but I'm going to try it again. J Pure Stakes.
might be Jopper. I'm not sure. It's a oddly named race, yet a good one. There's 13 horses in this field, which equal
Good.
when vertical player, or it should, as there's a lot of variety to choose from. My top selection is the 11, Chasing Artie at 15-1. Trained by my dad's favorite trainer right now, Safi Joseph Jr. Third start since July. Severe stumble in most recent effort. I highlight that because I've read a lot of trouble lines, and I've very rarely seen that stumbling out of the gate. Yeah, and that stumbling can vary. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes you that's why you video handicap. But severe stumble in the trouble line really stood out to me. Won the first start off the layoff at Gulfstream Park. Looks to be heading in the right direction. Third start off the layoff is an angle a lot of your handicappers play. Hot trainer, horse severely stumbles to start the first race, most recent race, and still ran on, I believe, for a good third. My second selection is the 8, Scuttle Buzz at 6-1. This horse has won 4 of its last 5 and won 6 of 8 at the distance. So, in 8 lifetime.
Is this the horse you were telling me that? Is this the horse you were telling me that comes out wide almost every start?
Yes. And the horse is a closer. So, won 4 of the last 5 starts. Okay, the reason the horse is 6-1 and not 5-2 is because it's ran against lower class horses. But then you look at the distance, the horses ran 8 times at the distance and won 6, ran second in the other 2 starts. So, good recent form, loves the distance, second off the layoff, wide in almost every start. The likelihood is Scuttlebuzz will be wide again, but this horse is winning at a ridiculous clip and still going wide. So the horse has been much the best. Will be rolling late, and there's quite a bit of speed in this race. My third selection is the 4, Casa Creed, which I think is the home of Apollo Creed. 9-2 Belmont trained Louis Size aboard. This horse actually won this race last year. 2 wins and 3 starts on the Belmont turf. They would call that, horse for course, basically meaning the horse likes the Belmont turf. 9-2, definitely not a bad price on that horse. And then I end up with the favorite, Arrest Me Red. Me and my dad played this horse on Oaks Day, where she won the turf sprint. It's her 3rd start since November. Wesley Ward, one of the best grass trainers there is. This horse will be tough to beat, but I'm looking for a big effort from Chasing Artie and Scuttlebuzz to bring us home a nice amount of money. That's what disappointed.
So we're going to say that.
I was just saying I'm disappointed with the Belmont field, but I think
with it only being 8 horses or 10 horses.
I think this race offers so much more value to a gambler. That it's insane. It should really be the opposite. But yeah, we end up with the 11-8-4-5 here for Fat Don Spectas in the 8th race at Belmont on Saturday.
The 11, the 8, the 4, and the 5 in the 8th race. All right.
Yes, sir.
I think you said the other race we're going to do is the 10th race?
The 10th,
which I think that one was the 1.25 miles, the Manhattan Stakes, if I remember correctly.
Quarter Manhattan Stakes. It's also a grade 1 on the turf.
It's on turf as well.
Is Rock Emperor at 10-1. You've probably heard me say this in previous shows, but Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz, one of the best trainers in the world, arguably maybe the best jockey, but everything's up for opinion. Regardless, Rock Emperor, speed and fade with trouble in most recent effort, clearly needed a race after being off several months, and will need to improve significantly. But this horse is just shy of $1 million, like $960,000 in career earnings, and been running in this kind of company for like the last 2 years. So it's like it would be nothing. The horse needed its last race, should improve greatly. If it runs back to its back class, is a steal at 10-1 with Chad Brown and Irad Ortiz. My second selection is, I don't even know how you say it, Trib Hooven. Regardless of what it is, it's 8-1, awesome ground trained horse. Second off the layoff, speed and fade in most recent, just like the 6. Should be near the front, ran second in this same race last year. 8-1, another beautiful price. The 9, I believe, probably should have been the favorite, but I think is the second choice at 7-2. Santon, Brendan Walsh won the Turf Classic on Derby Day by 1.25, going 1 1/8. Can sit close or close. So this horse is very versatile. Probably race time might be your favorite. And then my 4th selection is the 10 Channel Maker at 8-1. Bill Mott, Luis Saez. Y'all are going to get used to hearing these connections because they produce winners. Wins only start since November at Keeneland, going 1.5 miles, so the distance isn't an issue. You don't see a lot of 1.5 mile races. I believe Channel Maker ran in one of the Triple Crown races 2, 3, 4 years ago. This is Channel Maker's second start off the layoff. Will need to rate, not fast enough to get the lead early. Rating is just being able to sit off the pace because early speed in this race, Channel Maker can't go and maintain that type of pace, I don't believe. But I think can sit second pack and, clearly just winning 1.5 mile race at Keeneland, first start off the layoff. Now they back him up a little bit. I look for a big performance out of Channel Maker. But to recap, we've got
Okay.
6 Rock Emperor 10-1, the 7 Trib Hooven at 8-1, the 9 Santon at 7-2, and the 10 Channel Maker at 8-1. This could be spicy. This could be spicy because I've got 3 horses at 8-1 or better. They let any one of those go. I do expect the 9 to probably end up being the race time favorite, but I think we can beat the 9. And even if we don't, if they're going to have to probably let one of those horses go. And what I mean when I say that is, instead of 8-1, maybe you get 15-1. Instead of Rock Emperor being 10-1, maybe he's 20-1. So it's
Right.
Somebody's an overlay, and I think the 9 will end up as the favorite, but we'll see.
Can you go ahead and real quick recap the Belmont Stakes for us as well? I know we put out another video with those picks, but not everybody would have seen necessarily both videos. So just if you don't mind, you don't have to go through why you did what, but can you?
Well, I'm going to say something just because I want to say something, but I don't believe any triple race should have less than 10 horses, and I think that should, it should probably be more like 12. So they were showing it going to be a 10-horse field 2 weeks ago. They do the drawing week, and it's 8, and I don't know what happened to those other 2 horses, but it's hard to convince me that we couldn't have other possible entries. There's got to be people dying to get to their horse in a Triple Crown race. So, like, if the horses have been put there by points or anything like that can't go, we need to open the doors, because if Rich Strike can win the Derby, didn't even know he was running until Oaks morning, anything can happen, and you do have, 4 horses or so that didn't run in either the Derby or Preakness. I'm just disappointed with the field size, but whatever. But to recap, my top selection of the Belmont is number 8, Barber Road at 10-1. Made up 15 links on Derby Day, was 19 off early. Is it going to have to navigate through 20 horses? It's only 8. Obvious. Second selection is Rich Strike, the Derby winner. How much more really needs to be said? My third selection is Nest at 8-1. Only filly in this race. She ran second in the Oaks. Todd Pletcher trained. Should get a ground-saving trip, as the favorite is the 1. It's going to show a lot of speed early and give it up late. I expect Nest should be sitting right behind the 1 within 2 or 3 links, ready to pounce. And my fourth and final selection in the Belmont is number 6, Mo Donegal. If you watch the Derby show, you'll know that was my top selection in the Derby. Is 5-2, and the second choice was off slow in the Derby, 10 wide gaining. Won't be that wide in this race. And 5-2, you're not getting value. And for me, if what I see is correct, there's not a lot of value in this race. As a handicapper and lover of the Triple Crown, that's disappointing. That I'm looking forward to the Jaipur and the Manhattan more so than the Belmont. Belmont for historical purposes, but betting wise, the 8th and the 10th present 10 times the value.
Right. Okay. And like always, folks, we're doing the Fat Don Fectus. My man likes to play his top 4 picks. He boxes them, and he runs them as a try and a super.
And try and super, the denomination is on you.
How did we do last week?
Well, we gave out 2 races. The first race we ran first, second, and fourth. But it's really a moot point because the horse that we needed to run in ran dead last. That was my long shot. So even if we'd ran,
that's where the value was.
It would have paid 100. You know, nothing that we would have been thrilled about. It would have been bad. And then in the next race, my top selection went off at a huge overlay. He was 5-1 morning line. He goes off at 12-1. If you would have offered me my money back in the middle of the race, I would have took it. He got a torrential trip. You know, he's kind of up close, gets shuffled all the way back to last. He's on the rail. And, you know, the next thing you know, I'm like, who the fuck is that? The 5 on the outside? Yeah, it's the 5 on the outside, and he wins easy. You know, I mean, it was incredible. I had 12-1 on him. That was $160, and I can't explain the 12 because it's always 10. I don't know if I meant to do 20, but either way, for that $12, it was $160, which we got really 2.5 times what he was, you know, set to be morning line.
Right.
It was, you know, it was a gift. And the bad part is that race, it was kind of a lot like the Derby where we're leading and then there's this horse making a move. Well, it's like I've got that horse. But the problem is they don't hang on for second and third. They just completely die. And you're like, man, so we get a 12-1 shot home. It was 2 of my other prices, the 8 and the 9. And I think they were around 8-1. And it's like, you know, that runs in on the try. That's probably, you know, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000. You know, it's a decent amount. It couldn't even been a little bit more. But, you know, to get a good return on the win bet was good. I never want to down talk a win, but it's like, boy, if the 8 and the 9 hold on, you know, then we're back, you know. You live to swing again.
There you go. As I've said before, shooters got to shoot.
Yep, and we're going to keep shooting.
Got to take them shots, bro.
You know, you like
my selection? Well, man, I hope.
Say something in the comments. You don't like my selection, say something in the comments. You got your own selection, say something in the comments. Get involved.
You think you got some eyewear game on the level of Fat Don? Take a picture.
It's over.
Send it to your mama and then say something in the comments because you didn't win. But that's all right. Subscribe, people. Subscribe. Tell us what we're doing wrong, what we can do better. Something. You guys, best of luck to everyone as we finish up this crown jewel and see what we can get popping.
Peace.
I got flavors for your blunts like it's BW3s. What you make in a month, I spend that in a week. I go and take what I want, you be asking for cheese. Your game based on front, she be asking for me. Like Fat Dom, where you going at after this? Pouring sham, rolling up, couple blunts I kiss. I might hit the stew, might be bagging up piff. For spending time with you, probably last on my list. Cause money and music is all I know. If I ain't getting to it, I must have a show. If you see me driving fast, then straight to the dough. And if you see me driving slow, might be hauling a load. In this game, I'm a pro, but I'm still in the G League. If I ever hit the road, I'ma win me a 3-peat. And when I make it home, hope you're happy to see me. I'm still working on my goals, I'm just happy to be me. I ain't switched up for $1 or nothing. Been a couple years now, I'm finally buzzing. At first you was laughing, now you calling me cousin. Made it seem like you was around, but you actually wasn't.
First you was laughing, now you calling me cousin. Made it seem like you was around, but you actually wasn't. Made it seem like you was around, but you actually wasn't. What was?